You're live.
All right, everybody, we're here. It's June 22nd and at the Town of Poolesville's Commissioner meeting, our sole meeting for the month of June. Thanks to everybody for being here today. It's all the commissioners in the house, as well as Assistant Town Manager Niles. Town Manager Wade Yost is joining us virtually. And amongst our vast studio audience out there, we have Link Hoeing from the media. So I'm glad to have everybody here tonight. As always, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Sarah, if you don't mind, give us the lead.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you, Sarah, for that, too. Commissioner announcements, committee reports. Alan, I know you got a full deck. Go ahead and give us rolling.
I do have a full deck, but I'm going to try to expedite it. All right, Parks Board. I actually joined virtually last month from the great state of Maine. So we welcomed our newest board member, Tracy Bodo, to her first meeting, which is good. Wanted to go over some of the quick, safety notes. Went over some of the e-bike issues again. I know we've been talking with the MCPD about that. Commander Sotinski actually went to the high school to meet with some of the students. Just really safety, education. We wanted to go through that. Just want to make sure that summertime, I still see them out quite a bit. Just be safe, guys. Eagle Scout projects were really the talk of the last meeting. We have a new presentation from somebody we all probably know really well, Miss Elizabeth Reed. This will be a presentation for a new bridge project over at JPMS's Pond. It'll be the second bridge, if I recall.
Correct.
So JPMS Pond is getting a lot of attention lately. Obviously, Preston will be guiding a lot of that project with materials, installation, oversight of that. We did approve to move forward with that project because of the presentation and the details. Jade Teeman, we talked a little bit last time, but she actually did finish her Bluebird box. I think she was supposed to do 22, and she ended up doing 24 because she had enough materials. And they were literally found homes within a week, all of them. So homes, eggs, nest, everything, quick. So that was really good. We have another future Eagle Scout project will entail the installation of owl boxes around our town's trail system. We have three types of owls, I believe, in Poolesville. We have the screech, the barred, and the good old great horned owl. So, again, Preston's well versed and knowledge into that. So, and then the fourth one, I know we had talked about Ava doing she's going to begin her mock-up of the mural at the band shell coming up in July. So once we get some really, updated renderings on that, we'll present it to everybody for their review and commentary. Another big discussion was the sign dedication based on Roy Johnson's widow. She had presented probably a month or so, I guess. I think we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, it was about 2 or 3 weeks before the meeting that she presented the idea to Jim and I.
Yep, so a lot of possible future options. Probably not as grand and as scaled up as that sign. Talked about little smaller locations maybe, or smaller ideas, pavers. But it was a long conversation. It was a lot to go over. We talked about bronze plaques. We talked about smaller signs. Really criteria of who deserves them, not just because you want to purchase something. But, I know there's some guidelines that for people that are officials or have really been part of the town for, I think it's 10 years.
10 years.
Yep, 10 years, and then we can consider some situations. But we just have a lot to go through, a lot of details. We voted no to, obviously the sign and present, when we get some more details, present to all of you guys. But there's got to be I would imagine a couple more meetings of this with the Parks Board, in order to break down the criteria of how we want to present around towns, parks, streets. I mean, obviously, I don't know all the background for the history of who's, is deserving. Military, there's a lot of community people and residents that are deserving of some kind of recognition around town. So, let's see, we also talked about kind of maybe putting on the website some digital media and criteria, or excuse me, digital registry on the town website of who has already been recognized. So that way we can get everybody in town can see, who has already been acknowledged and honored through town. Again, that's a very deep conversation. I would imagine it's going to be a couple months before we really hone down the criteria and the qualifications.
Hang on for a second. So right now, it doesn't exist that we have a, do we have some sort of, I'm thinking we do somewhere buried back somewhere that we have everything that we've named after somebody here, is there some sort of recognition in terms of like a couple of lines or a paragraph or something about each one of those people? Or do we just have the names?
It's mainly been the names as far as I know. I don't know, Wade, if in the past you've done anything like that.
I don't know why I was thinking that we had more.
But,
I mean, this includes like if there's like a plaque on like a park bench or like a.
well, those are just, those are by the families. So people can purchase those.
Yeah,
Those are a first come, first serve type.
yeah, the in memoriams, I think those are different private residents. I'm talking about like, who was Dr. Dillingham?
Right.
You know what, and something,
And I think
that's
it's
something I'd like to.
And that's, I think, what we're talking about with the digital library.
Yes.
And then maybe have another page on our webpage of the honorees or the dedication of, who has their memorials or their,
Grab the one on top.
or being honored. I think so too, because I did some research and it was, other than knowing what I know, there really wasn't much more
Yeah.
out there until you get into the minutia of, is there certain walking paths? Is there certain trails? Is there certain, locations in town other than, we felt that we didn't want to create something Wayland Commons because there's so much there now. You got some pavers for some of the commissioners under the flag. You got the big boulder up front that's recognizing people. We got our farm sign out there. So we don't want to saturate Wayland Commons when there's so much more around the town. And we got streetscape coming up. So, but again, it's not really a personal purchase to honor somebody. We would have conversations within the family members, and then we can figure out, again, our direction and what we think or who deserves it. Just because you serve in a elected position doesn't default you to be recognized for a certain thing. So there's a lot of history, as we know in Poolesville. We gotta talk amongst ourselves, bring it back to the Parks Board, and really figure out where we want to go.
So just to say two things. One is what you're thinking about, Jim, is there's a couple of the parks in the park description on the website refers to, like I think for Dillingham, it explains who Dillingham was, but it's not consistent. We didn't have a history on everybody. And I think that's part of what you might be remembering.
Yeah, that is what I'm remembering, yeah.
Because when we were going through the comp plan, that was one of the things where we had some descriptions had names in it and some didn't. And so we removed those to make it consistent, since not everything we had history on for the parks, or readily available, I should say. And then for other things like the street names and stuff like that, I don't think we ever had that for people who, who they are named after. There's no description of like who they were. So
Yeah.
So that would be a very informed and pretty specific, detailed page of the history of it.
If you go into the Monocacy Cemetery website, which you guys have probably a
Yep.
bunch of us have been into, you're clicking on a grave and seeing who that person is, and whatever there is knowledge is about that person was pretty cool. I don't think we needed to go something as far as like something interactive where you click on
Does it
the
have a
map of
picture like the
Poolesville.
headstone at least?
Yeah, it has information about whoever's buried there, whatever information they have, when they were born, when they died.
So I'm saying,
Yeah.
are you suggesting that for this website, we at least have like an image of the plaque or an image of the?
I mean, I
Where
think
it
that, I
is.
wouldn't be opposed to that. and then have like a pop-out window or, you know, I mean, I know we didn't talk about interactive, but it's, with today's design and specifics of webmasters, it's pretty common to have
Easy to have
integrated.
lexical data.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the question is what information first that we want on it, and then figuring that,
And we might be
Design based on
restricted
what?
by letter, you know, depending on the pop-out box. I mean, obviously, we don't want to do 400 pages or 400 letters. It would be just a nice summary of who they are, how they dedicated, and what their time was.
But it sounds like you're putting together a framework, so probably in your committee, you guys would come up with a framework and say, this is the template that would be used, and that way you have that consistency and control and neatness.
And obviously get feedback from everybody, you know, but, you know, it really got into the minutia of probably 20-minute conversation of what we need to really bring into, so.
Awesome.
Anything else?
No, I appreciate the conversation.
All right, little town staff update. Obviously, the red, white, and blue lights have been illuminated around town, Fisher Avenue, Whalen Commons.
Awesome.
Again, ball fields, restrooms, all that are being heavily used this time of season. On the weekends, fields could use a little bit more rain that we just had. Pretty dry out there, but the guys are on top of it. You know, I know we have, and we'll talk later, or Niles will talk later. The streetscape's moving along pretty nicely. Still looking for that fall, but I'll let Niles talk about that. PHS Replenish Club installed 10 more crabapple trees, I think, at one of the pollinators, pollinator patches. So that is, what have they planted? 20 trees?
in that range, 20 to 25 trees.
Yeah, 20, 25 trees in the last couple months. Obviously, you know, overseen by good old Preston. Next meeting, I believe, is July
8th.
and that's kind of the parks tour. We're doing 4 parks. Just go around, revisit them, make sure everything's good, and just get an idea. So that's my very brief Parks Board meeting notes.
Sir, you have given us all your knowledge, and you've done it in a compactful way. Thank you.
What's that? Did you go to MML? I did, but I figured we would probably hit that later, but.
Yeah, we can make-
So I'll hit it real quick.
Yeah, go.
So MML, obviously, went to about 18 classes. I think I went to like 4 or 5 different parks classes. Some a little bit redundant from last year, but some new ones, different speakers. It's always nice to hear different people speak, different areas of the state. Niles and I actually sat on 1 or 2 maybe of them. But again, I think, watching and listening to some of the questions from other municipalities, we are well ahead of the game on timeframes of parks, maintenance, safety, you know, renovations. So, you know, grants, but it was good on that. But, you know, it was, I don't know, it was unique this year with some of the classes. You know, they were quick, not really populated. You know, it seemed like it was a little less people this year than last year. Again, it was a week earlier. I just think kids were still in school. Graduation was happening, and but other than that, you know, I'll hit some more of the MML,
Yeah, we can have a general
Yeah.
MML
and
discussion.
that's what I was going to wait till.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate the heads up, and yeah, let's talk about it as maybe at the town manager's report, Niles can bring up his, and then when you guys can round table it. So. Is that it then, Alan?
That is it. Yep.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, Brian.
We had we had our last planning commission meeting on the 10th of June. We had a plat proposed to us for the Morrison property, the Poolesville Tire and Auto, subdivision of that plat, and approved that relating to the acquisition of property over there to put in potential new development. So obviously, we were not approving a new development, we were just approving the subdivision of a plat.
Right.
We also approved the Department of Planning annual report for the
Right.
2020, CY 2025 year. And then we got back into discussion on I'll say it hopefully, maybe for the last time, the CAD ordinance that we had proposed. And we took a step back, we considered all of the testimony we had received. We got a little bit more testimony that morning, or at the beginning of the meeting. And then we just really got into what was the core reason for even wanting to do something. And we really wanted to protect the historical feeling, ambiance of that area, of the existing buildings and the existing uses, and honor that with anything new that came in. So we feel like that's still important to us. So that's still something important for us to do. We also want to make sure that downtown area, which is not really very walkable right now, becomes at least more walkable, if not very walkable. Just, better access from foot. And we also just looked at the town vision statement and thought we really could apply that to that area as well. So in that discussion, we kind of reaffirmed that there was something that we wanted to do and that we have good reason and that we've probably done 95% of the work. But it's not quite right. So we need to go back and look at what is it that are the things that we can do, and does it have to be cultural arts? Can it be something else? But there's also if there's a grant somewhere that can help us achieve our goal, and they want to see something called a cultural arts district, then maybe that's what we call it. But we're removing that from the out of the conversation right now. We're not focusing on cultural arts. We're focusing on those three elements: protecting the historical ambiance, making it more walkable, and applying the town vision statement. We also realized that we put together a pretty big package of things, including a new sign ordinance, new definitions of uses,
The parking.
and a new parking concept tied into this. And it doesn't have to be. These are things that are really separate from that proposal. So we're going to pull those out and individually
Just take them
review
each
them.
individually.
And we'll see them here before we see another proposal for the zoning of that area. And that's going to make what we have ultimately, which I believe we will have something to present again. I don't think this is really fully dead. That when we come to propose that, it'll be very focused and succinct. It won't be so broad, and we can really focus in on any topics that might be an issue as opposed to, this is so much. So. That's our approach. Lexi and I also had a discussion afterwards about maybe getting into a meeting schedule following our meetings, because we feel like if we start talking about things 3 or 4 days before the meeting, it just doesn't seem to be as beneficial maybe as if we had a discussion a few days after the meeting. Follow up and set the agenda as we know it at that point. Obviously, still flexible with anything that comes in. So anyway, just a different approach on how we're going to try and keep things on track and keep things moving.
Is that it?
I think so.
Good information. No,
Yep, that was good.
I'm appreciative of the efforts and also to the ability of the planning commission to, I wouldn't call it pivot, but I'd say to recognize the town's input and decide to take a step back, review the goals, and take whatever approaches are necessary to potentially get to those goals, but look at it differently. So that takes a lot. Actually, a lot of organizations cannot pivot, and they would try to find a modify, or they could be standoffish. We've had our planning commission at times has done that as well in the past, and so it's just good to see that you guys. I want to make it clear to anybody that's going to eventually listen to this that I'm very appreciative of the fact that your body took note of the input and the citizens' input in order to make what I regard to be a good decision and a positive direction. So, thank you. I appreciate that. It's
Yep,
very
definitely.
professional. Very professional. All right, you two.
All right, I'll go ahead and start and can jump in. So one of the big things we have coming up is the dedication of the Farmers Plaque out on Wayland Commons. We have an event scheduled for Sunday, July 26th. Am I getting that date right? And we've invited a lot of our agricultural community as well as elected leaders. We have over 40 responses so far of folks who are coming, and we imagine there will be some more. We also have the Riverworks wind ensemble playing, in case you need another draw. It's going to be fun times. Jim, maybe, I don't know if you want to give the update on your conversation about the pool bubble with David Fraser Hidalgo and Gabe Albanaz.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, thank you for the lead off, but yeah, I'll get to it then, I guess, on my
Okay, all
part.
right.
Thank you.
So I'll just mention that that happened and let you update us on that. Link has been gathering feedback on the flag, and I'm sure others have been as well. We'll be talking about that later today. We'll also be sending out save the date for Poolesville Day breakfast soon, this weekend. And we're starting to work on the framework for the breakfast schedule. And we also counted up how many people had viewed the forums that we put together, and we had 100 people view the county executive forum online, 180 who watched the 2 at-large forums online, and over 80 watched the Board of Education forums.
Awesome.
So that was
deal.
encouraging.
Glad we
to
held
see
'em.
so many people
Yeah.
engaging civically.
All
All right.
Very good. And so I think you covered everything for fair access. And I think at some point prior to Poolesville Day in the VIP breakfast, we'll go over what that runner show looks like.
Right.
Maybe we'll get linked this to send something out to all the commissioners, just to thinking about what that framework is going to look like on that morning. Going back to Sustainable Poolesville, so that meeting was on the 27th. So I did not attend that meeting. I came here to our candidate forum. However, I will share what was discussed at that meeting. They went over just the certification and program updates, once again, making sure everything is in line. So when we go after the next update, the goal is to move up to the next level so that we could move and hang that banner up beyond what we've been doing right now. So there's a few things that we can do. So we're going to be working toward those things. One of the things they talked about is their community outreach and just using Springfest and how they could continue to reach out to the public, and even looking at organizing some cleanups right after when they do the movie nights out on the yard. So those are some things that were looked at. One of the main things, because they've been talking a lot about just the composting, and then they also had shared that the county is looking at something. Let me see here. Bear with me just a second. All right, so the county is looking to develop some type of food scrap collection program, is what was shared at the meeting. And we've been going around for a couple of years now talking about composting, talking about who would be responsible, do you have manpower, who would be in charge of that, and so forth. And so the decision was made to pause and see if the county puts out something that's feasible, then being able to jump on with that. But the goal is not to incur any expenses and not to mandate that anyone does something. So it's really, if there's something that works, then being able to share this is what works. So those who want to compost would have that opportunity. So more to come on that note.
Is the county mandating it, or is it also?
No,
an
the county
optional
is
program?
not going. The county can't mandate composting.
I mean, they do in DC.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. So it is more of a program to try to
Okay,
encourage.
Just an optional,
Right.
opt-in.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine trying to enforce people to compost in Montgomery County.
They can't figure out where to put the regular trash, much
Yeah.
less the compost.
So, yeah. So stay tuned.
All right, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Just quickly on my end, and thanks, Sarah, for the tee off on that. Link and I had a chance to meet with David Fraser Hidalgo and Gabe Albanaz. Everybody knows Gabe is the head of the Department of Recreation. Dave is our delegate running for reelection tomorrow, or finishing tomorrow, I guess, since we vote for, seems like weeks at a time. And great conversation. Every time David and I tried to steer it off into motorcycles, Link brought it right back in and wanted to talk about that later. Yeah, right. And we did. And then Link was basically pinning down Gabe in a very nice way about the commitment towards not just the funding for, talking about the pool bubble and what it would take to get there and how we can all continue our advocacy through fair access, the commissioners, et cetera, stay focused, continue to answer the questions, get past the election cycle so that, that real issues can be dealt with versus, all the platitudes that are out there right now. So it was great conversation, but I guess the takeaway was, and I think Link kicked me under the table when he said it. Gabe said that the community center is not in danger, that it is, he was just said flat out, he goes, no, he goes, community center's in great shape. Just, we've done the work, and the community center is in a very strong position. So that's probably as much as somebody that still he's going to have a new county executive, there's going to be new council members, there's new budgets to be defined, but he did say out loud that the hard work has already been done. The county doesn't walk back on those things, so we're headed in the right direction on the community center. Again, we still have our work in front of us for the pool bubble, but he knows it makes sense. So great meeting, hour of just busting chops and really trying to pin them down as best we could. It was a good meeting. So happy to appreciate all the work getting it arranged, and these partners that we've developed over the years. You guys have developed. We've developed fair access. It's all respected. We were told flat out nobody advocates like we do. Poolesville's a friendly place where they know we're not going to go up there and bash them, that we're going to all work together. And that was all reiterated by both our delegate, who has fought for and gotten us hundreds and hundreds of thousands of state dollars, as well as the department director of recreation, who's incredibly well-respected, former council member, person of stature. It was great to have like these guys in the room telling us that we're doing it right, and we have certain things coming to us because of our hard work. So that was a good one. On a downside, you guys know, and I'm bringing it up only because we just have kind of fresh information. Like Alan and I today met with Preston as well as Montgomery County Police. There was a potential racial incident that took place in terms of graffiti at the tennis courts at Halmos Park. Police report's been made. There's really not much else we can say about it at that time. We did go both out. I don't know if anybody else went out besides he and I, but we eyeballed it. I don't want to downplay it or upplay it, but it was just a police report was taken, and we'll see what happens after that. So we also had a situation you guys probably saw on Facebook that I responded to it, where there was talk of a fight that took place and a potential robbery started at the townhouses, made its way over to Tractor Supply, supposedly ended up towards Dunkin' and at McDonald's, of course, and that there has been some misinformation that's been put on Facebook regarding that incident, and confirmation from Commander Satinsky that there were no weapons involved, and that was one of the things that was talked about on Facebook. So there's still more to come. Juveniles are involved, so there's probably not much more we're going to hear, but that's the word that was out there, and that's kind of the discussions we all had back and forth today with various police agencies, et cetera. So that's all I got.
Thank you.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yep.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure. Yeah.
I forgot because we haven't met since this happened, but at the end of May, on a Friday, there was a performance at Riverworks from Charlotte Galarson and some of her friends, some of her other professional ballet friends.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely incredible. They had like 5 days of rehearsal to put this thing together,
Wow.
and it was top-notch, high level, and just out of the goodness, they just loved doing it. It was Charlotte's vision, and they wanted to come support
I'm
Charlotte's
so
vision.
bummed I missed it.
She's
Sounds
amazing. Yeah.
And it's probably going to happen again next year.
Good.
And I can't believe it was a decent crowd. There's 25 or 30 people there, but I mean,
If people really knew what was going on there would be a lot
it
more.
would be a lot more. So keep that in mind. I'll bring it up next year when we have it.
Yeah, heads up.
Charlotte doesn't care if anybody's there. She just loves seeing her friends dance, and for me, I'm like, this is such a great thing for our town to be able to experience. And again, I think that kind of,
Yeah, let's balance it out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
yeah.
You know, and Bob, you making me think about so many great things that our town does, and I think about when some people focus on the negative, and then you have the hearsay, and then people get off and running with it, and then you get the comments on the comments, and it just goes wild. That's probably one of the reasons I don't go on Facebook as much as I used to years
It's
ago.
painful.
But if we look at, highlighting and celebrating, and now this is something to think about, is just like what Brian just shared, being able to put out positive news. Hey, what's around town, about town, or something. Here is something our young people are doing. Here is something that's happening. Another plug for our young people that I forgot to share was during the first weekend of May, the Scouts had a Trash to Trash event. And they had 30 participants, and they collected 80 pounds of trash, spanning from the high school to Wayland Commons and behind local businesses. So you think about all the kids. It's really important that we never allow the handful of things that go wrong, no matter where you live, overshadow all the great things that our community does and that our kids do, because I feel very strongly that our kids don't need to be associated with a reputation of kids not doing what they're supposed to do in Poolesville, when we know the overwhelming majority of kids are doing, from going to basketball, dancing, all the picking up trash and just pitching in. It's so many things that these kids do, and these kids who are out here with a lot of pride in Poolesville should not have their reputation tarnished because a handful of kids and adults who don't really know what's going on want to tarnish that.
Yeah. Oh, you saw it at their Scout proclamation, that, we had the best and the brightest there that night that you did that.
Oh, yeah. We did we gave, from the town, we did a proclamation to John Casden, who was retiring as Scoutmaster. And when we look at all of these Eagle Scouts that John has shepherded through the process.
Did he tell you what the number was?
No, I'm
Over 100.
over 100.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
I-
Right?
That's impressive.
But John is such a humble person. But because I was there, so I presented the proclamation that night. And when we look at the work that group has done collectively, and watching some of these folks come back, and his kid has left Scouts years ago, but he stuck with it. And so it is definitely another testament. It's when we think about this town and the strength of the town, look at all the unpaid volunteers who contribute to make the place what it is. And when you look at other places where they might get stipends or honorariums, is that we have so many people who just pitch in to help out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of, if we're doing good
Sure.
news,
Let's do it. Let's keep it.
we had Pride Fest on Saturday the 13th, and we had somewhere close to 800 people there. This was taking place in the back of HMD, the Jump Pool House, and locals. And we had over 30 volunteers. We had 20 plus vendors. We had local performers and artists, and it was phenomenal. It was just it was a love fest, just lots of love and joy being expressed. And the feedback from the elected officials who came was, this is the Pride Fest I never miss. This is my favorite Pride Fest. This one is so great. So we'll just keep doing that.
Yeah, that was great. I saw the volunteer network in action. That was amazing.
That was great.
Ready to go. Yeah. Great job.
Graduation party.
I mean,
This-
I
this is a
know, it's
rough time
always
of
a
year,
busy
right?
time. I do.
Yeah, it's the
get it.
busiest time.
Yeah,
It really is.
Yeah, like make it 2 more weeks earlier in May
for graduation.
for graduation. But anyway, that was fantastic. You're right. I totally agree. That
Give you
was,
the last piece of shout out
Sure.
for Poolesville, man. I did attend on Saturday. I did go to Germantown to the Juneteenth celebration.
Oh, wonderful.
And it was packed. And what was really nice was some of the members of County Council, City of Rockville, and City of Gaithersburg. City of Gaithersburg, City of Rockville, they co-sponsor. And it was very thoughtful, where I was standing off to the side, and they're pointing. I'm like, this person. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
come
you.
on up to the stage. And so, but you go
That is
back
so
to those
demure.
relationships,
Yeah.
and being able to stand and gave a shout out to Poolesville, and as each elected official had a chance to speak, then they passed me the microphone as well. And so, but we think about those relationships, and this is where I'm going with it. they didn't have to do it. We didn't put any money into the sponsorship, but to give Poolesville recognition and to share that platform, right, was very kind of them.
They are our sisters,
They are
sister cities.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They are our suburb.
Yes.
I mean, sister city.
yeah, sister cities. Thanks for joining, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ed, speaking of that too, I have to mention that, first Tara did a great job with Red Hot and Brews, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
That was great.
Great time.
Oh, yeah.
As usual. and so Tara had to have me run a few aspects of it. And then just when I was getting ready to read the preamble to the Declaration of Independence, I saw Ed right off to my right-hand side. And I said, and everybody, I want to introduce Ed Reed. Ed ripped it right off with a lot of a gusto.
This is what he forgot to say. Ed, read this.
You didn't duck down enough. So I knew you were up for it. So I appreciate you stepping up there and doing that. That was a lot of fun that night. So, and Red Hot and Brews was great. Another great Poolesville event.
Yeah,
Another
that was a
great.
event.
Yeah, it was.
Community
I
building
stayed
event.
late. It was like perfect weather.
Yeah.
There were so many great people there. It was a fun
Yeah, and several elected officials. Of course, Marilyn was there too. So, anyway, great times. All right, do we have enough of that? We've covered all of our social lives. If we don't meet for a month, we got to catch up on things
right,
too,
that's
and
right.
for the good of the town, of course.
Absolutely.
Time to adjourn it.
Just about, you would think. Well, we looks like, unless someone's online, we have no public comment coming up.
Jerry's not here.
Yep. Okay, the minutes for May 18th, 2026. I think, were we all here, or Al, were you virtual?
Alan was virtual.
I mean, you still
virtual.
count. It still
Yep.
counts, but, okay, so all the commissioners were here in spirit or in real life on May 18th, 2026. Could we get a motion for the approval of those minutes?
I motion that we approve the minutes from May 18th.
A second.
Motion by Ed, second by Sarah. Any other questions, abridgments, adjustments, commentary, changes? None?
No, sir.
All in favor of approval of the minutes as motion for May 18th, 2026? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Okay, guys, thanks for approval of the minutes. All right, new business, Flag Design Committee.
Yes.
Here we are. Oh, we're going to be put up on the big screen.
So
On
exciting.
the big screen as long as my.
I want to hear everybody else's comments before I chime in.
Have you already seen it?
Yeah.
I did open it up beforehand and got a little feedback from the people in my house.
It's fine. I want to hear from everybody. That's what we're here for. There it is, a sea turtle. To commemorate you.
the turtle.
Right.
Ride the wave,
great.
right?
We are a wildlife preservation area.
There we go. Just give me 1 second here. There we go. Okay.
Here we go.
So there's sort of the design. So just a couple of things, just a couple of reminders. One is that there were sort of three themes that the commissioners first laid out, which was sort of agriculture, education, and community. And so the committee tried to incorporate all of that. And so that was done through the idea of like the green being agriculture, the circle being community, because that's a common symbol for community, and then the laurels, representing education, which is a common symbol of education. And then a couple of tweaks that came up. Jim had a comment that the committee really liked, which was to connect it to the state flag. So the yellow in the flag is the same, it will be the same yellow that is in the Maryland state flag. And then the blue, there was talk of sort of representing water or the Potomac in some way. So that's kind of there as well, but also just as a complementary color to the overall design.
I think it's very soul source aquifer.
Yeah, kind of, yes. It kind of ends up being under the ground in the way that it all laid out. But so that was sort of the general design, was to incorporate those things. And then the other part was to have the old town hall. And this was because the other aspect that the committee really wanted to emphasize is the historical nature of the community, that we sort of have this foundation that is historical in nature. And so the town hall, as that kind of icon of history, was kind of the key aspect of it. So the other part, so this is the placement. What I shared these sort of placements with, and I'm just going to close that for a second, is just kind of the placement of everything in relation to each other. So the main two that they liked were these sort of, that the committee liked overall, were these sort of first two, where it's more or less shifting where it is in relation to the edges. Okay, so one further for our purposes, further to the right, the other sort of further to the left. So if you can see here, I'm going to try to do so you can see how it sort of shifted more that way,
Yep,
and then
this
the
one's
next
more to
one
the right,
is shifted the other way.
to the left.
And then this was another one that was still that kind of idea of kind of shifting, making it more
This one is
centered,
right?
but with the laurel kind of extending further. So that was kind of they spent a lot of time playing around with how these elements will fit together, and then we can kind of go from there. So the idea was to kind of combine all those different features and then sort of connecting it. And we can, like the edge there will be more complete, with the laurel, it's just kind of trying to demonstrate it here because it's just obviously a rendering. But those are the overall ideas and the themes and kind of incorporating them. So whatever thoughts or feedback you have, I can take it and go back from there.
I'm opening the floor.
I love the three different colors and the way it flows. Kind of makes me think of a moving flag just
Yes.
looking at it.
And we were trying to figure out a design to kind of show what it would look like kind of waving, but that was a little bit too hard to do right at this point. But
I think the town hall's too big and too detailed.
And so we spent a lot of, when we originally did it, it was much, much more detailed. And we've worked to kind of simplify the design over time. So I think we can make it,
Can you
even-
just have the outline? Like, do you need the
Well, that's the-
interior
I need the
stuff?
silhouette of the building and something, like the door is so iconic, right?
right, yeah,
Probably, anyway,
simplify it a little bit more is what you're,
way less lines, I would be happy. It's just
Yes.
too much for a flag, in my opinion. Of course, we'd love the town hall. There's nothing against using the town hall. Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna allow that. I'm not gonna argue whether the town hall should be
Yeah.
in there or not. If they've come with this, they think it's important,
Yes,
that's fine. If it's gonna be in there,
yeah.
I'm not.
In this,
It needs to be much less detail.
right, and I think that's something
It
that,
needs to be smaller. I think
Worked on.
town hall is part of our history,
yes,
but agriculture is just as big of a part.
right.
I mean, so it doesn't, and to me, I don't think that.
Doesn't need to be so big.
It overshadows.
Yeah, and so I think the scale we can look at how, how dominant we make it. The other thing to note with all of this, of course, is most of the time, you'll be seeing this at a distance. And so the relative scale of it is something that we can sort of tweak and maybe look at a couple of different options with how much space it takes up, relative to everything else.
So that's all, that's the feedback, the laurels I love the connection. It did make me think of like Julius Caesar and.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I thought it was like wheat.
Yeah. And at one point,
I thought of wheat, and the color of the yellow also made me think of wheat.
Sure.
So
And that's also a good thought too, right? I
and
mean,
at one point we had the laurels be gold laurels, but then that
Yeah.
was also very wheat like. So we were trying to make that connection, but still span it. So
And I think this is even as it is, without any further refinement, is a tenfold improvement over our current flag.
yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. I like the three colors. I love the blue underneath. Reminds me of our aquifer. I don't know that I love so much white, and especially like white building on white.
Yeah.
and we
Don't love that.
I got a solution, I think, for that.
Okay.
yeah we can talk about that. We had a long discussion about what color the town hall would be. One point it was sort of green, sort of matching the
Yeah.
traditional green that we have on things.
Yeah.
Then that became too heavy. So I think it's trying to balance that out. And we can look at how and again, if we scale it, it's going to be less white and so probably more gold or more finished,
Okay.
depending on how we scale the town hall. So that might be a way of solving that without too much change, but we can also, if you have another suggestion, obviously, but I was just.
I
my
like
first
the
thought.
balance of having the water and the green hill going up, and then the old town hall off to the right.
Yeah.
more, to me, that flows better and they balance one another. I don't think you should try to like center it or put it to the left.
Yeah.
Especially because flags are usually hanging on that left side. And so you want, I don't know, you want the weight more on the right side, in my
Yeah.
That's a
perspective.
good point.
And that's where we had a long discussion about that, about how over, how back. And that's why this first one was the most liked by the various committee members.
Can you put the ones where the laurel extends down,
Yeah.
back up? That one kind of was, I want everybody to take a little more look at that one too. I kind of like the little more abstract, the way that comes down. It doesn't try to be all even on the laurels extending, but I'm not.
But could you move it over to the right more? Still have it extend,
Yeah.
but have it be a little more off center to the right?
You could go back to the other one that had it off to the right, which I'm in favor of too.
But then just extend the
And
laurel
doing it-
down.
Extend it down.
In looking at it, I think we want it to be more finished, so that edge will be more finished. Like here, I think it ends up, my thought, and this is not, but like on the right, you want the laurels to finish more. It sort of looks like it bleeds into the edge, and maybe scooting it over, again, scaling that center down a little bit and having the laurel sort of finish more on the right there, from my eye looking at it, so, yeah, on the right there, yeah.
So I'm sure you guys probably did this on purpose, but I like the idea of the halo around that also represents like the sun,
Yep,
with it being, and then having the growth area of both the brown with the wheat leaves, I mean, the
the laurels,
the
yes.
laurel knowledge leaves, and then the flow of the rest of it. So I think, the guys I think you're pretty much on target in terms of scaling down Town Hall a little bit. But I mean, the overall design, the flow of it, everything is, I think they did a remarkable job. And I share the whole thought about, sorry, I couldn't wait any longer.
Yeah.
I share the whole idea about the white, too much white. And that was my initial reaction.
Yeah.
And I flashed it in front of my wife. I'm like, tell me what you think about this. She's like, too much white. I was like, oh, okay, that was quick.
Yeah,
And I know you guys probably did something that had like a silver or a gray background.
Yes.
On it. And then what was the reason why that was not rejected? Because I would think that would break it up
Could you do
just
it in
enough.
gold? Could you do the circle part in gold and then the part around it?
right, so, well, part of the issue is that then when you have too much white on the edges,
Yeah.
on the outside, it just kind of looks like a white flag. Because
But what if you did blue in the sky and blue in the water?
So we also talked about that, not necessarily in both places, but we talked about having blue up top, and that was less liked than having the gold up top. So that was this sort of scheme of the three colors we kind of
I like it's like
So you
like
don't want to repeat any of the colors, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we could look at, obviously, we could look at an option like that, but the idea was to kind of have each of them stand a little bit on their,
Scale the building down a lot, it would make the
Yeah.
circle much smaller.
right. I think we could do that. I think we could scale it a little bit more and have,
Almost like you're seeing it from the distance.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think, and I think, again, I still like the idea of, a sunrise. I don't want to be too symbolic here, but, like the sun's always rising on Poolesville. We always, we're a community that's progressing. And it also lends itself into the ag idea
Yeah.
of growth and, the sustainability between the green and the blue with the sun rising. So, and also too, I think going back to the flag classes that we attended, it doesn't lend itself well to having white on any dominant side of it, so you
Yeah.
have to have an edge.
Yeah,
Or else the flag kind of loses its definition pretty quick.
yeah. It's-
And I like the idea of it, but it probably could work better if it did. But in practicality reasons, the flag needs to have an edge to it.
yeah.
As much as you possibly can, potentially on four sides.
Yeah.
But I think if we scale it down, I think that addresses sort of the too much white, and then
Yeah.
we can have that edge be more defined with yellow more, and in that way. And so I think we could work that through.
Yeah, so if you were just to, again, I saw Brian doing it with his hands on his computer. If you just take the top upper part of this and bring it down, give us a defined orange edge around the whole top part of it and down the side. Have the laurel be fully exposed on that right-hand side.
Yeah, yeah. I
have
think
it-
that will help a lot with
Yeah,
it.
still have it leaning to the right, just like Sarah has said. And then I'd still like to see a mock-up with the building looking silver or light gray.
Light gray.
To break up the rest of it.
Yeah.
Crazy to think that we just need that front door, that arc, like a simple triangle on top
Like-
of a rectangle and the arch inside of it.
We
You're
can,
saying
yeah,
like
we
not
can
the
do,
whole
like, as I
door,
said, we
just the
can make
door?
it more sort of, not quite like this, but
Like
sort of just
symbolic of the door.
And the one you said, yeah,
Really a
yeah,
Rendering of the building.
yeah. And that part I think we can work out, like, making it even simpler, from
Why
the
don't you
design.
Just give us like two different looks, because I'd still, this, we pared down, like, so look at Niall's shirt. This was a thing that I made a long time ago, which is a pared down, even a less detailed version of it. And then, I'm not sure.
Then we went even more, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that's the one I'd want. But I think that if you, I hope the flag committee's not, like, they're.
Look, I haven't even critiqued it yet. I got like 10 things already. Yeah, I'm just letting you guys talk.
No, no,
Don't worry, we're good.
Thank you for thanks for letting me have my piece. I'm not done yet, but you go ahead. Give it to us.
I'm looking at this and looking at that.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like,
So I do see progress.
That's a whole.
Yeah.
No, I think we're onto something.
All right, town halls, that definitely got to be scaled down. The line width, or the line weight on the front door is way too thick.
Yeah,
I do like the last one where the laurels come down above the green to break up that.
Time out. So if we use this version of it to some degree, but you're okay with when, like, we talked about shrinking this down just a little bit, then still having that laurel extend down?
Absolutely. I mean, I like, can you go down to D or whatever that is?
We know, and I'm with Sarah, I like the idea of being it off to the right. I don't
Yeah.
And look, it's always, in design, usually it's always about alignment.
yeah,
You can see a little bit, like the town hall looks, even though it's centered on the page, see how it's over, it looks like it's more over into it's almost touching the white line between the blue and the green.
yeah.
You know, but once you scale it, it should, by default, get back to the center.
Yep.
Break up a little bit where that white line is, where above the green, where that line weight is, whatever it is, but break up that line weight into where the sun, I like the sun analogy, that's what I was gonna use, the sun, but to bring it down where you still have that yellow, we talked about breaking up that whole top of the
Sort
flag.
of the way that it waves down. I see what you're.
So what we need to do, because I don't want, if you're looking at this flag and you're looking at it and it's actually flying,
Yeah,
it's going to look a little odd where the white just blends into the tip, and
yeah,
there's no definition of the color itself. Look, it's a fantastic, initial, well, not initial, it is the first time we've seen it, it's initial, but this is what we have these meetings for. So I like the concept, I like the town hall, just the line weights look a little thick.
yep.
Scale's definitely too big for that circle. The laurel on the right, you know what? I kind of like the breakup of,
Yeah.
where it sits. And the other one stops at, the agricultural part or whatever you want
Yeah.
to consider the green.
Knowledge stops here.
Yes. So we're not quite 100%, we're 80% knowledge,
People try to tell us about our water.
No, I
Knowledge.
think, I think we can kind of work it so that it sort of scales more.
And I think if you go up to the first one, the blue, if you go up to the first one now, see how the blue comes more over to the middle of the screen?
Yeah,
It's a little bit thicker.
Town halls too.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about alignment.
yeah. So we could sort of narrow that white there, shrink the town hall down and sort of rescale it.
Right.
The rest of it.
And you know what? You might even have to do a little bit of a yellow on top of that white line, just so it kind of goes behind the town hall,
Well, that's-
where it just breaks up that whole white, but it's still plenty of white.
Yeah.
It's hard to really see until you actually have a designer sitting here just making our
Yeah.
edits.
And
What
we
about
could
our
make
gr-
it sort of a little bit more of a breakup between both of them so that
Right.
it's more defined.
So, because I'm looking at that on the right-hand side of the town hall, and see, it's just a monster width of whiteness.
Yeah, white,
But
yeah.
if we had a little bit of yellow on top of that,
Yeah, I
just to break that up, I think the optics of it.
And I just don't like black around the lines of I don't like
so
black. So either use an outline color like of blue.
maybe we could do a little
Or-
bit of the.
So Alan's talking about, Alan, you're talking about having this.
Like a yellow gold line right there.
Yep, and just follow the contour of that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
I like that. Yeah.
because it breaks up that white on both sides.
Yeah.
It's either that or
And make the other lines thinner, the white lines thinner.
the white line's thinner. Oh, you mean
in between the blue and the green and the
Yeah.
gold and the green.
I think we do that too. I think we make it a little bit thinner, but also
Yeah.
define it.
And what about the top, that gap, the white at the top?
So there will be gold
Yeah,
on
yeah.
top.
The
Yeah,
circle
I
will
think
be a
we
little
had
bit
the gold.
more defined, and the laurel
Almost
will
like
be
if
more
you shrink
defined.
it,
Yeah.
you shrink that circle.
Yes,
and
that will do a lot
town
of,
Town hall circle
bring the
and
gold.
laurels.
yeah.
Yeah.
That will do,
Yeah.
that will do a lot of the heavy lifting will be reducing it, because then we can
Yeah.
play around with the size a little bit more.
Can you scroll to the one that, I think we majority like the one on the bottom? I think with the laurel in front? We kind of like that one where it breaks up.
The Laurel for sure, but the position of Town Hall, we'd like.
Yeah, I don't.
But that's what I'm saying, but I'm saying if we're
We can
looking at
put,
something.
yeah,
The only thing I would say, I'm a bit of a keyline person, which doesn't necessarily apply here, but when we talked about running the orange down here,
Yep.
is there any point in having, like a key line help define this better versus having like the orange? I'm not sure if the orange.
What's a key line?
Just it's like maybe a line not as thick as this.
I don't want black lines. I just don't.
It's not black, it doesn't have to be black.
But I think
Yeah.
that line weight is definitely thick.
It can be something that's, it doesn't, and actually, I know this is probably off the hook, but just thinking about like, if we had some other, there's an opportunity to potentially put another color in without making it overcomplicated. Thinking about something like instead of like this blue is this like sky blue, maybe it has a dark blue line that is part of this. I don't know, I'm just trying to throw a little more like definition into it. Doesn't have to be, but I'm just thinking, we know.
Like instead of using white as the line, maybe we use
Yeah.
a color.
We know we need it here, right? We know we need it here, because this was weird, and it really is, that's, as Alan said, that's a big block of like.
white on white on white, yeah.
Yeah.
And just think, if that line
think
weight
we
on
could do
that
it both
town
ways,
hall
though.
wasn't thick,
If we,
that thing would be even whiter.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
What about,
Yeah.
what about ones surrounding the laurel leaves too? They're a little bit floaty in the orange, not that
Yeah.
I'm against it.
but you wanted them kind of outlined, maybe in a color?
Yeah, I mean, just something that
You
has.
squint your eyes and think of it far away, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I worry about it. If you're far away and you're looking at it, they might just be a little blendy with the orange versus a little more defined.
So, and again, Alan's,
Well, we can create copies of what we're doing, like, we can create
Different
various
variations
versions.
for us to look
And
at.
then-
By the time you guys go through the alignment, move that circle down, put the background on it, it definitely has to have the yellow on top, so it actually has a nice, like the bottom has the green and the blue defined to
Yep.
the very edge of the flag. On the top, there's two colors. So,
Yep. So we can just sort of do it where it sort of matches there. So I think that will work, where we can have the edge all around, where on the top it's gold, on the bottom or the yellow, the green and the blue, So that
okay,
the
I'm
edges
okay
all
with
there.
that to like, one more, give us a draft and then
Yes.
let's see what that looks like. Down,
I'll send you an email just with my notes
Yeah.
of what I just talked about.
Yep.
and-
the only other thing I would say is that, and I'm not trying to be picky about this, and I'm more than willing to be shot down, or if they can see what it looks like, I would like to see what it looks like. It doesn't have to be. But if you look at like uniform numbers, if you're watching a game and you see a uniform number on a jersey, having a slight outline around the numbers
Makes it pop a little bit
makes the
more.
whole thing just a little more crisp. Not
Yeah.
that we don't necessarily have to be crisp with the flag. But from a distance and it gives a little more definition without being overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only thought, but let's do all the other
Yeah.
things, see what that looks like.
Oh, yeah.
If we have to add if you guys think that adding a key line into some of that to help provide a little more definition, and if you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we are 80% right now.
Yeah, I think we're there. And if it's easy enough, I would also love to see a version where the blue and the green are taking up a little bit more.
A little bit more space.
I would
It
think
just
the,
makes it feel like the
Yeah, we can-
town is
yeah,
like
we
so
can-
much.
definitely blue's a great color.
Once we scale it, all of those things will be we can reconfigure it.
Yeah.
I don't want too
Very
much more on the
decreased.
green and the blue, though. I think if you scale down Town Hall and scale down the circle around it to give a little more orange without giving it too much more.
Because if you look at it, the green line is midpoint of that side, and the other yellow is as well. So I am not against that midpoint on the side.
Examples
To
of
make it sort of more balanced
Yeah.
on both sides.
or if I like it better, just like,
Yeah.
like colors.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not wedded to it by any means. I think it's a little bit weak with that, as much as I like the laurels, I think they're a little weak against the orange background, but that's just
Like,
could be me.
honestly, I feel like if you look at classic designs of flags, I think it would not have the town hall at all in there. You would have the sun, the
Yeah.
laurel, the
Yeah.
land, and the water.
Agreed.
And that would be it.
When I researched this, you know what I saw? Like,
So I think maybe we see a version of
simple
that.
as simple can be, and I didn't like any of them. Simple,
what?
so many flags that I looked at through our municipalities when I
Yeah.
did this exercise 6, 8 months ago.
Yeah.
There's some really basic municipalities. It's really like no midpoint. There's either very simple or like our current one, it's so busy that
Yeah.
you're like, it doesn't appeal to me at all.
Yeah, ours is a fail on a number of reasons. So we know that, the current one's a fail,
Yep.
that's why we're here. But,
Yeah.
but I'm also with you, Sarah, and I'm also with you, like, I really didn't recall Niles saying to the group that we had to have such a heavy emphasis on our symbolic town hall, which
Right.
I'm not against,
That
it
was-
is our calling card.
That was not from you, that was their.
Okay, well, there's the citizens having their,
There's their.
saying what they,
feeling, yeah.
what they feel and believe in. And
Yeah.
I think it's also, I think it's generic enough, and as you said, maybe even a little less.
Yeah, we can make
detail.
the design even less detailed. than
But if you do
that.
that, then that is potentially edges it more towards the flag design criticisms that we've already, read about and learned, where it's having this very definitively defined government entity on your flag. And that's kind of a no-no,
Right. I feel
right?
like we
That's a
don't
no-no.
want that.
That's why,
So I get it.
it's like just the doorway.
Right,
Because we've recognized, and very vaguely,
yeah,
triangle on top of a rectangle with an arch in the middle,
yeah,
because it still looks like a doorway. But it's symbolic.
yeah.
We know it's
We can make it more abstract, yeah.
Well, how about this? So I'll
door
go-
open, by the way.
Well, I like that too. I like that a lot. Is it possible, Donald, that you could ask them to give us, so let's say we have a general, pretty good idea, again, 80%. We've shrunk it down, we're off to the side a little bit, the laurels go down one side, all the way down on the other. You get to see the entire sun halo
Yeah.
behind the building. Give us, and it's off to the right a little bit.
Yep.
Have it be, can they do, I can't imagine on Canva or somebody, we could come up with like 5 or 6 different
Oh,
town hall interpretations?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think we can do
Including a
all of
doorway?
that. Again, as I said, we worked from one that had every little detail. If
Yeah.
you look at Old Town Hall, there's details all over the place, to like the cross hatching and stuff like that,
Yeah.
to taking each of those elements out to try to get this, so we can make it more symbolic. We can make it
We
more-
took all the jail bars.
Yes, exactly.
Our symbolic is our
Yeah,
our town jail.
Yeah. But yes, what I mean is,
It's
If
freedom.
people don't know our town, that is exactly what they
Yeah.
might think it is.
We're very proud of our jail history.
Mayberry's jail.
Yeah, right, yeah, the jail of Mayberry, right. It's Andy Griffith's parked
What
right out
platform are
front.
you using to do it?
well, so the
that to Sarah.
graphic designer did it. So, so I think she just did it in Illustrator, but
Got one bullet.
yeah.
So, the criticism, Alan, unless you're holding back again, anything else?
I just wrote 20 things. No, actually, just my notes. Just do my notes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So in general, very good. I also want to see in the interpretations of town hall, if in those interpretations, if there is a way, I know gray is like a semi no-no on these,
Yeah.
on the flag. If there was a way to provide, like, so that there's contrast between whatever the building ends up looking like, or the
Do we
door
want to
or
do it
whatever.
as it might be easier, this is just my thought, of having like a gray or silver-ish outline rather than it be colored, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that might be easier to do than
I'm just more and more thinking we get rid of it.
Oh,
That's my.
I mean, look, even if you use the gray or silver, you can do an outline on that laurels.
And still have the sun shrunk
Cohesion.
it down so there's more gold,
Yep. You guys are close.
so that we're really just focusing on the symbolic nature of
I'm gonna go-
education,
yeah.
sun, earth, land.
And to me, I don't want the town hall to be the primary optic point for everything. The optical, like,
on that.
oh my God, there's town hall. I'm like, I'd prefer not to have that. Oh,
Let's-
snack is served.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. That's what I'm,
Thank you.
come on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you here for the testimony?
I'm out.
So how about, before we just abandon town hall, because I agree, there's, if you look at all the other all the flags, and a lot of the flags that were in the presentation.
Like examples of good flags.
And examples of good, right, examples of good flags. Maybe there's a middle ground where
Yeah.
because it is our most iconic building, it is the thing, but no matter what we think, I can tell you from selling real estate in this town for almost 20 years now, people are like, you mean that funny building that's in the middle of that weird corner? That's how they know what our town is. So I don't necessarily just want to throw that away.
Okay. I want to make an argument for,
What would you tell?
by removing the town hall, I think it makes it feel a little bit more like it's an ag reserve flag. Like our surrounding community that feels like they're a part of Poolesville, but technically, legally, they're not, but they still feel like they are. Because it focuses on all of our connection, which is the land. And I think that you stay away from any
Municipal.
Hey, Niles, can you scroll up to the bottom again
Yeah.
with the
that
full
are
laurel?
associated with town government or town history by just focusing on
I definitely like
water,
that one
land,
the best.
education, keeping it more general.
Seems like so a little too ag reserve-y and not enough Poolesville-y.
I hear that, yeah. Yeah, no, you're right, you're right.
That's what I was
But I'd be open, you have another, because I think what we got there between, again, the laurels, the sun, the growth, the river, the green, I like all that, unless, one of you guys is holding back, I'm looking at you, Alan, that has something against that. Has something
He hates
against
the
that.
land and the river.
Can we just go black and white
Finally
with
been
gray,
exposed.
gray monochrome? Can we just?
Yeah.
No, so more or less, the summary of this is that the elements of the design are nice. They just need to fit a little bit better, from scaling it down and making the edges more defined.
And Sarah, we didn't tell those guys to put the municipality in there. And they understand the parameters of what we.
Right.
Yeah,
looked
we
at.
were very clear. I mean,
But
this
something
was
that's very
citizens
important
kinda
to
define
the.
them, yeah.
Okay.
And that was the discussion we had in the meetings, was about what they wanted that connection to the
Just,
idea.
I literally don't see another flag that has like a city building.
Right. I mean, there are ones that have
let's
skylines and things like that, but yeah, I get that too.
Let's make it a little more arty and a little more symbolic.
Yeah, I think
And a little
Yeah.
less defined to make
Okay.
us the middle ground between Norway and the.
People could interpret it as a home
yeah.
or a building. Okay. I'm liking the triangle, rectangle.
Yeah.
I think that's a compromise.
It's pretty iconic, you guys. The design
is.
is pretty iconic.
It
You
is.
almost kind of. Again, I'm not really trying to. We heard very specifically that the picturing of municipal buildings was like a no-no, which is also what led us to our initial discussion,
Yeah.
like getting rid of.
kind of go away from that. And they initially did things like that. This is one of the things they wanted.
I've always thought that building, and this is probably one of the reasons I don't want it on there, I don't think it should be on a flag, is a church with the steeple removed.
Yeah.
Almost like stained glass windows on the side,
Yeah.
and that could be a little,
Yeah. No,
Right.
no, I'm with you.
But and that's fair too. I think it's just trying to see where we want to go with it. We can ask for one without it. We can ask for one with it being much more sort of geometric, for lack of a better word, and then see how those feel
Yeah.
and kind of do it
Good.
that way.
Let's compare them.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I can't picture it being. We still have to be uniquely Poolesville.
So when you think uniquely Poolesville, what is symbolically, what would you say represents Poolesville? I get the ag reserve and all of that, right? But going back to what Link was saying too, it's still Poolesville. What symbolically represents Poolesville?
Well, I think the sole source aquifer, because we wouldn't exist without that.
Okay,
Our settlement, our town
what
exists
represents-
I think the
without
blue
source.
gives it enough for that.
I do too, but I'm just saying
All right,
that
I'm
to me
pushing
feels
you. I'm gonna push you a little
unique.
bit.
Yeah.
What represents community in Poolesville? What's the strength of Poolesville? besides the water and the aquifer? What makes Poolesville Poolesville?
Isolation?
At first,
community-
but, so you
community.
take the isolation, and it's grown. It no longer stayed isolated.
Yeah.
Because what attracts people, and then if you sell houses, all the different options people have. What is it besides the school
Well, the
is
sense
a
of-
draw?
The sense of community.
The sense of community,
What does that can symbolize then?
and that's the question.
And that was the
Right.
discussion they initially had, and that's where they came up with the circle, because it's hard, community was a hard thing to try to
Symbolize.
symbolize because most of the time it's just a
That makes
circle,
sense.
or it's people holding hands, or like
Now,
it
the
becomes
way it looks, it looks like a building. The circle looks like a sun, and looks like wheat's growing out of the land, and there's the water.
right.
That's just one interpretation, right? And so you go back. Well, I get what you're saying about the building. So, but then just stretching and challenging.
Right.
What is it that you? Because the building's way too big anyway. But
Yeah.
what is it that might be that centerpiece that brings
Yeah.
people together?
The only thing I would say and that's an excellent point, and this is not, I'm sure this is in complete violation of all the flag description rules that we've read on and the courses we've studied. But I tell people, literally, I see people every single weekend, and I talk about that around town, you'll see more people wearing a hat that has a P on it. And you can't, I know they don't want to put that on the flag.
Right, right.
But you talk about the sense of community. I tell people it's every single weekend. You see people here wearing a P on their flag, it's on their hat, it's not Purdue. That's Poolesville, and it's not Pittsburgh, well, it might be Pittsburgh, but it's not, it's Poolesville, and it's really our sense of community that people do gather around. That, you're right, they don't see a picture of Old Town Hall on their hat, although I like the idea that I might design that. I think that's kind of cool looking, now that I'm thinking about it. But
Look, I'll have this done by midnight tonight.
Yeah, all right, good, yeah, get back to us, yeah, talk to your person.
What do you need, 40, 50 versions?
Oh, just one for me that just says Poolesville, thank you, or a P.
Yeah.
Put a P in the middle of the door, and then, anyway.
I was gonna put Jim right in the window, just wait.
Just waving.
Be a stick figure with a beard.
With a sign,
Maybe he's on the top, just look to.
Yeah.
he's on the roof. You don't see him up there?
Big beard, yeah. That's me, it's
Hanging off
white.
like Santa Claus.
It's white, yeah. So, Niles, let's go back just for now, then. You've got enough marks.
yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
okay with that?
Yep.
We only
Yeah.
have so many more meetings.
I think we've
so,
given you
we
lots of
gotta get it
feedback.
Together.
Yeah, no, I think we know where to go, and then we can.
You think we could see
Discuss it.
something mid-meeting, between this meeting and the next?
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Have some more conversations?
Yeah. Well, I think what we'll do, we'll take it all in, and we can make the adjustments we need.
So unless I know that there's some talk about getting rid of the symbolic town hall anyway, but if we do several artistic versions of the town hall to maybe dumb it down so it's not as, maybe it's more arty and it's less mausoleum. And then have it, and then do the rest of the stuff that we've already talked about, bring it
Yeah.
down in size, having the gold around.
Yeah.
And maybe we can reach some sort of middle ground where we agree that the town hall is not as hardcore, the municipal building.
Yeah.
I keep reminding myself, it's a flag, not a mural. Also,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Keep in perspective the point of the
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're here too. We're really getting away from something else. But to the flag committee, just let them know we
Yeah.
really appreciate it, and they've
Yeah,
done a
great
great
work,
job.
great
Yep.
work.
Yeah, and it's really appreciative. Is my girl Erin Gang on that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was she a good
She was very good.
contributor?
She basically
she's-
wrote the RFP that we used to get the graphic designer,
Good.
and had some good input.
Good.
But yeah, no, it's been a very good.
She busts my chops at pools at the basketball camp today already on it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad. I appreciate the input. I know
Yeah,
I
she-
consider her to have substantial design skills.
Yeah, we've had a very good conversations. We're sort of working through everything we need to do to get to this, and I think we are there. The elements are there. It's just how we work them together.
I hope you guys that we can get somewhere with the municipality aspect of this. That is something that we can all like and agree to that reaches
Yeah.
that middle ground. Okay.
Right.
Oh, put Wade on the middle of it, right there. There you go.
Thanks, Wade, for your input.
Yeah, appreciate that. All right, guys. All right, is that it? We're good for the flag design committee?
Yep,
Where
that's
were
it.
we? All right, Westerly Grove bond release, who's going to lead us off on that one?
I have the letter up there unless you wanted, I have it on my screen here, Wade, is what I was saying.
No, go ahead and go through it. This is just some bonds that are left over from Westerly Grove that they've called to request a release on them. And if they would have called earlier, we would have released them earlier. So,
Yep. So this is from John Strong, just sort of going over the details. The developer of Westerly Grove subdivision is requesting the release of the bonds in the following amounts. Well 14 construction bond, $1,566,766, bond 932840. Oxley Farm Pump Station bond, $393,000, bond CMS 0342944, and Park Construction bond, $347,321.82, bond CMS 0342945. All the values were based on bonding submittal that are currently held by the town. As-built drawings have been received by Clark Azar, which reviewed and found them in compliance with engineering standards. The Oxley Farm pump station sewer system was installed per plan. All test data met the requirements for this task. And we, on the well, that's one of the wells that we've been working on and has PFAS issues as well, that we are also working on, that will be the well centralization project. So that, while not online, was also acceptable from a construction standpoint. Materials used in construction were following the plan set specifications. In conclusion, Clark Azar recommends that the construction bonds referenced may be released. If you have any questions, let us know.
Have this been delayed?
So this was more on them than it was us.
Understood.
They, in general, with Lennar, they were kind of slow to respond to some of the things that they were doing.
Sure.
And requested things on time. We accepted them, I think, what was it, 18 months ago, something like that?
yes.
And so we've been operating them since then, so.
Right, we accepted the three,
The pump
right,
station and the well.
right, the three construction components to this. Understood. So what are we looking for specifically? Are we looking for a motion and
Yep,
a
motion
second for?
to release
me.
the bonds.
Do you need us to read out loud the numbers of the bonds?
I would say just the bonds referenced in
Yeah,
the letter.
and dated the letter.
Okay. All right. I motion that we release the bonds noted in the June 16th, 2026 letter from Clark Azar, letter 100.018.
I'll second.
So motion made, and I'm gonna amend your motion if you don't mind, or you can
Yeah.
amend it, but I would say that you'd also want to say request for bond release, the letter, the date, the number, and the request for the bond release of the Westerly Grove Crossing subdivision.
Got it.
Got a little more specific.
I think, also just amend it, crossing is not part of the name. So it's just
Yeah.
Westerly Grove is the name of the
Okay,
subdivision.
gotcha.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, Sarah, thank you.
We're just going to,
Can
sorry,
we jump in?
Wade, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, please, if you could just go ahead and name the bond numbers, that makes
Okay,
it more
I
simple.
will do that.
Bond number X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
Right.
okay. I motion that we release the bonds for Westerly Grove, specifically bond number 9328401, bond number CMS 0342944, and bond CMS 0342945, as noted in the letter 100.108 dated June 16th, 2026 from Clark Azar and Associates.
Very good. I like that motion. Do we have a second? Go ahead and repeat it. I'll second. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead and just read it off for us again. All right, very good. We had a motion by Sarah for the release of the bonds for the Westerly Grove subdivision. We have a second by Brian. Any questions on the release of those, voting for the release of it? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Okay, great. They finally get their money back. That's awesome. All right, very good. Thanks for that, guys. Old business, the Village Overlay Zone Development Standards Amendment Ordinance number 234. This is under old business. It is something that has already been brought up in front of the commissioners as well as the planning commission,
And there's already been a public hearing on this.
and there's already been a public hearing on it. Thank you.
And this is about the decks.
Correct.
That is correct.
Got it, yeah.
And, just give us 30 seconds of background, buddy.
Yeah. So in going through the reviews of the various the plats and houses for next door, there became an issue that developed around there not being enough space for sort of a traditional deck on these properties, so a 10-foot deck. And so they requested various variances originally, but based on the legal advice from Kevin, it was determined that the best form of relief for these issues was actually to amend the code. And the language that is used in the code is the exact same language used for in the multifamily zone, which has similar. These houses have similar dimensions in terms of lot size and how they're configured to a townhouse, basically. So we're using the same metrics, for lack of a better word, in terms of the setbacks that we use in the multifamily zone. So this is mirroring the language based on legal advice to address these concerns about decks.
Got it. You guys have questions?
No. I motion that we approve ordinance number 234, the amendment to the Village Overlay Zone Developments Standard Chart.
Good enough. Motion made by Sarah. Do we have a second?
A second?
Second from Alan. So motion's been made to amend ordinance number 230, to enact ordinance number 234, which is an amendment to the Village Overlay Zone Development Standards. Motion's been made, second by Alan. Any other questions? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed? None? All right, good job. The business of the people is done. Town manager's report, if you're ready.
Sir?
I like watching Niles writing it down, what we've just done, and then I call for you to go ahead and do the next thing.
It's all good.
Just love that, man.
This is what we're here to do.
It's what you do. You do a good job of it. Keep you on your toes.
So for the manager's report, so Stevens Park Camp is ready to kick off next Monday, the 29th. It's put together the training program, fingerprinting, and all the other required necessities for the counselors. So all of that has been taken care of. So we're ready to have the youngsters there on Monday. Then at the same time, staff is developing plans for the Stevens Park restroom and concession stand. As we may recall, we received a community parks and playground grant for $310,000. So hopefully by late fall, we can go out to bid on this project. We're now in the phase of getting the actual architecturals done and that kind of thing. Preston is in need of a 6-month employee, and so there's be advertisements to be posted. I found what I did last time, so we'll post that here shortly. And then the replacement in front of the asphalt path here in front of Ferry Crossing should commence probably on Wednesday or Thursday of this week, weather dependent, of course. And then also what we discussed last time, and then we did a notice about, we continue to closely monitor the drought situation and its impacts on our system. Currently, our wells are not showing excess drawdowns or negative impacts, but, some elevated use. Summer is the period of highest water use, so conservation efforts now will help mitigate potential challenges in the months ahead. Residents are encouraged to use water wisely. Simple steps like fixing leaks, using water-efficient appliances, and less frequent lawn watering can contribute to overall conservation efforts. And then I sent a note around to everybody from the MML conference. Alan, Ed, and I had a discussion with SHA about that curve between Partnership and the town boundary. I checked the state data with the state police. There have been 5 accidents since January just at that curve.
Ow.
So,
Not surprising.
and if you look on the map, it's kind of like Stark because it's like nothing, 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 5, and then nothing, nothing, nothing. So that curve especially. I have not heard back yet, but that was a good conversation. We also had some good conversations with MDE about our grants and things like that. So they're going to follow up with us on that. I attended a very good session about procurement during the conference, and that was a very good conversation. More showing what we had done and what Clark Azar has done is, very consistent with state practice and state contracting, which is sort of what we go off of for the larger projects we do. And when we go out for grants and things like that, all of that plays into that. We did a good one on inclusive playgrounds that we talked about as well, and we can look at that for sort of future things to do. And then we attended the legislative recap session, so there's going to be a couple more things that we're going to have to look at in terms of we're going to have to do some more major reporting on elections than we've done previously to the state. That's one of the things that is new this legislative year. So Maggie and I will get together on what we need to do for that. There was a lot of talk about some of the housing changes that we've talked a little bit in the Planning Commission, and there'll be some language change that we'll need to do for that. And then there's a couple of others. There's a couple of other things where we might need to tweak some things. So there'll be the whole list in the office. But so we'll be looking at that. Those are some of the high level, takeaways from the conference that might, come back to this body. But there's more technical things that we went through that was good. Some good conversations as well. So
Any new and interesting vendor alignments possible out of that?
so I had some good conversations with a couple of vendors, sort of more on maintenance side things. That was very good.
Waste management, was that?
So that is
We saw our favorite people.
we saw our friends from Bates. That
That's what I'm
was
talking about, yeah.
But there's a couple of different things that actually came out of Matt Haga going to the water conference that we had a discussion about in terms of sludge and things like that I know. Trying to get feedback from what other people are doing. So I know we had a conversation about that, and we'll come back and talk about that further, I think. I'm trying to think, but yeah, we looked at a couple of the light vendors just because of things that we were doing for the streetscape, so that we can get people, details that we could put in the bid package. So I found one of those when we were walking around. So it's kind of direct things that we were looking for and kind of connecting to. And I was trying to think if there's anything else like that. But I think
Anybody
it's
else?
good.
Anything else on town manager's report? Because we can freeform MML from one of you guys.
No, I think that's it for the manager's report.
Yeah.
Other than streetscape, we're continuing through and doing all of that, but you said
Right,
that.
you guys saw that on
send the
the email.
email.
Okay, guys, so anybody else want to review more MML?
I can do it real quick. I just have a few notes. Okay, obviously Parks and Street, sitting on 4 or 5 of the sessions, ran into my good old friend Ray Morris from Cumberland, our mayor, quite often. Again, we have to plan a trip up there they just did Baltimore Avenue, completely redid the downtown area. Like to get Niles, myself,
Sorry, which mayor?
Mayor Ray Morris from Cumberland.
Morris.
So it's a little 2-hour journey, but, I've spoken with him several times.
Field trip.
Field trip, and we can all break it down into sections. Parks and Street, we can do a little legislation, we can do a little bit of, we can get, Preston up there, get Mike Bupp up there for the Parks Board as well, and spend a day up there. Just good people. We can learn from that. Sunday night, we actually went to our good old controllers little power hour, which is always good, with Brooke Learman and my guy Michael Byard. Continued solidifying that relationship. We're talking about July 26th as being the good old farmers recognition, but maybe Brooke is possibly coming to that, but coming prior to that to meet with all the businesses, or a lot of the businesses, to see how they can generate some revenue for our town.
Reopen White's Ferry.
Right, so that's a big one, but it's her mission, so I'm working with her, Mayor Monique, and, well, I don't know who's going to be I guess Lisa Henderson might be the mayor of Gaithersburg if Judd gets in. So it'll be a Montgomery County day for Rockville, Gaithersburg, and us. Went to another roads, the AI software that the three of us actually attended. Unique, not quite sure if we need it. I don't think our town's that big for it, but a lot of cameras that are in our town trucks that literally scan signs that need to be redone, painted, potholes. Really cool technology. I just don't think that we are quite there yet. We don't have that much of roads to really.
There's a camera on the front of the.
Oh, yeah,
truck
it
that is
scans
scanning.
everything.
So instead of relying on sort of human eyes
Yep.
to track things, if they're noticing.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting technology, but we also did some filming of our streets to grab all our signs and things earlier this year. So we've done some of that work, it just wasn't as comprehensive as what this company does.
Yeah.
Now let's hit the SHA on the meetings we have with that, thinking about, I know we have the raised rumble strips per se, but I'm thinking about doing, maybe talking to everybody and doing the actually milled out ones you kind of do when you're coming up to like a bridge or a tunnel, so people aren't just nodding off. Maybe a little bit, a little bit deeper to get their attention. But, it's safety measures and it's dealing with the state. It's not easy. Went to Maryland Parks and Rec Association. Again, actually it was really well attended. Last year was like 12, 15 people, Bob. It was probably like 35 people this year. Yeah, so the biggest thing I got out of it, other than the typical maintenance and everything, was a lot of parks are starting to get teenagers just to overwhelm the parks at one big time, kind of like a flash mob. So having a lot of issues.
Flash mob
Talking-
teenagers.
Talking about like 200-300 people at a time.
They call it teen takeovers.
Yeah, teen
It's not a
takeovers.
good thing.
In not a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it at Rio over there.
Yeah,
It was not good.
yeah, it was not good. So again, we're lucky, but again, just taking notes.
All these municipalities are talking about creating a legislation, copycat legislation
Right.
with each other on how to deal with it.
And we had lunch with our good old town attorney, Kevin Best, one day.
Yeah,
Just I was running out the car to grab something, and he knew me. He's like, I know you. So he came in, and but it was good. And I think I did 18 total courses, so including opening, closing ceremonies, and all that. But it was well attended. I like it. Every time we go, we learn. But creating the relationships. Talked a little bit about another some data center knowledge of up in Adamstown that I'm going to circle back with Jesse and see if he wants to jump on a Zoom call or even come just to get more information. It was a pretty good conversation that we had with him that night at that.
It's good.
So just to get a different perspective. We're stuck in this moratorium now, and a lot of going on with that. So other than that, that's all I have.
We're oddly on the sidelines, but we're also in the middle of it. It's
Right.
weird- It's a weird spot to be in. So it would be nice to learn more and have it not be from, political sides. I'd like just to learn more,
Or
period.
for people who have gone through a lived experience with it. Like, I
Yeah,
would love to
it's
talk to maybe some towns in Virginia who
Yeah.
have.
And you know what he said? He said it's not even it's not a party issue because both parties are usually against it. So
Really?
yeah, oh yeah,
It was a good conversation.
yeah. So he, and I can reach out to him. I'll call him or text him. Ran into a good old Lieutenant Governor Aruna. Talked to her for a minute, and
You mentioned White's Ferry.
no, she mentioned because her security detail is
Black Pony.
her security guy and I are pretty close, and she's like, you know him, and I was like, yep. So, but a VIP. I know Link had reached out to her. She had mentioned that, and just keep rehashing it. Kevin Addix, I saw him briefly. Invited him again as well. So, yep. So, wouldn't miss it, I think is what he told me. So, well, Jim don't have to speak then.
I'm not sure I'm going to be there, so.
Yep. So, other than that, I think, again, it was great. That's what I have.
Good. How about you guys? Brian, anything else to report? Or Alan took all the air out of the room again?
Oh, yeah, well, he
He didn't take all the
Adjourn.
I know, I'm like, wow, he's throwing shade.
No, I'm just playing with him.
I was
I
there,
winked at him before I said it.
Alan's tough enough, he can handle it.
and I got to go to some of the networking events, but I was not able to break away from work to really get to anything during the day, so my experience was not as involved.
How about did you guys go to the Montgomery County delegation dinner?
Absolutely.
did.
How was it?
We carried it.
Anything special? Really? You guys had a table and dominated?
Jake Dye was pretty impressive.
He was.
You know, he had talked about a lot and, but, you know, it's a Montgomery, look, it's, again, it's Poolesville, Gaithersburg, Rockville, you know.
It's nice. Used to be Gettysburg, Rockville.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've bridged that gap.
Yeah, I think we have. How about this too? What about the opening speaker? What about the main speaker for the conference? You guys saw what I wrote about, like how influential the one was for us. The one Wade and I went to many moons ago. You know, if we followed the template since then. What was there meaningful or was there impact from the speaker this
There you go,
time?
man.
What
I know,
was
I'm
it
not trying to
about?
remember. Who was the speaker that
it
first
was
day?
I'll tell you in a second.
I'm totally blanking on it. It wasn't that
Yeah, not
directly connected. It was
Yeah.
more like,
They were like, I remember all the videos they made
It
about.
was quietly disruptive leadership.
yeah. And it was about like leadership styles and such, which was fine, but it was.
It wasn't
So it
as
really wasn't a
inspiring
game
as we
changer
would
for you
hope
guys?
for. No, it wasn't very inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, we've been through, obviously, been to a lot of them, and it's definitely hit or miss.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's definitely much more meaningful to smaller towns, sometimes bigger towns, but, so yeah, you just kind of go and keep your fingers crossed and hope you pull something out of it.
You know, it's really weird. We're a small town, but I feel like we're a large town with how much infrastructure, knowledge, and relationships we have versus some of the smaller towns, like you were saying.
Yeah.
I think the smaller towns, like on eastern shores, are just so much more spread out. And they just don't have the relationships that we have.
Well, and they're trying to like run policing, like they're
Right.
trying to
Yeah.
run everything.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a small town.
Well, that's Barnesville to some degree.
Yeah.
You know, the issues that they have, you know, we're in a special category with having our own water and sewer. I mean, that's the defining characteristic of,
Only two in Montgomery County.
Include
Yeah.
that on the flag, water and sewer.
Just keep it blue. No streaks.
Just blue and brown.
Yeah.
Around.
The aquifers got to get bigger.
Now, I did. There is one that I really enjoyed, and they had this. I don't know if you ever heard a nonprofit organization, Community Heart and Soul.
Oh, I remember you
Right?
telling
I mean,
me.
and yeah, I really, out of all the ones I went to, I really enjoyed that one, and
That's cool.
yeah, it's and what they focus on is a whole different concept. Instead of like, of course, you want people to come to your meeting, but the reality is like it is today. I know everyone's watching online, but really that focus is being out in the community and having a very structured approach and strategy to really increase your community engagement. And they had some other people who had used this program that they have, just sharing the difference that it made in their community, how you take different kind of issues and being able to get feedback, resolve those different issues, really getting community input. It reminded me of when we had the consultant, we were working on the comp plan, and we were outside that time in that tent, and people were coming in just being available. But what I like to do, I'll get some more information and give you guys a summary, give you a link to their website. But then the representative is over there. I want to say she's close by, right?
Like she could maybe come.
She could
talk
come
to
out
us for a little
here
bit.
when the time is right, have her come out here and just kind of share what they do. And there's some things we might want to do something with them, or we might want to pick their brains and do our own thing. But nevertheless, the concepts of going out and just doing that community engagement in a structured way, it was really good what they had.
It's probably not a bad idea, and Wade has a lot more experience in this, and probably so does Link too, but about if we did a mid-comprehensive plan check.
Well, we have to anyways. So at the
Look at
5-year
that.
mark.
I got it. I was there.
He knew the answer, Jim.
Yeah,
But we'll,
dumb
but,
idea.
but yeah, at 5 years in, we have to check in on all the priorities that are in the comp plan.
But I like the idea to do that, but again, with the engagement.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
community engagement. Because we have gone back and referenced that community engagement scenario, that it was, facilitated for us and with us, but important for us to be in the tent too.
Yeah.
But we referenced that a fair amount, both you guys did when you're building the comp plan, and also, I think the commissioners, look back at the feedback that we got on that, and and also the fact that we did it.
And I think some of the feedback that we got from the Cultural Arts District was that desire for more,
Yeah.
I don't know, facilitated opportunities for engagement. And so a template, exploring what templates we could use for future, like, community engagement, I think would be really helpful.
Yeah.
So my feedback is not so much about the sessions. I didn't get a lot out of the sessions, but I really got a lot out of walking around the vendors and having conversations.
Yeah.
One of the things that we are trying to do in Poolesville is look at future growth as a destination to come and visit, both Poolesville and the surrounding ag reserve, as we are not going to be able to continue to grow indefinitely, residentially.
Yeah.
And so Visit Montgomery has come out with this great video that's all about the ag reserve, and Poolesville gets mentioned,
Yeah.
but it's not specifically about Poolesville. And so one of the people I talked to is a partner of the what's the city National League of Cities,
Yeah.
I think is what they're called. And they create, at no cost to the town, a video and like magazine, essentially digital magazine, that features your town. And the way that they fund it is obviously they work with local businesses for sponsorship, and then that's how they fund it. So I think that's something that maybe we want to explore. It could be a video that's on our town website. I also had some really good conversations with the Rural Maryland Council about grant opportunities that would still be available for us. A lot of rural grants Montgomery County is excluded from, but there are some that we would be eligible for that would help, in particular, fund trails and signage around designated heritage areas. And so with all of the cool history that we are trying to get visitors to come out and see and appreciate, that is something I thought we could explore. Also had a really good conversation with someone about a creative tax structure that would allow us to create incentives for business tenants to invest in and improve the properties that they're on and actually reap the financial rewards of that, and not only the landowners. So anyways, something for us to talk about. Talk to some people from Obvio about solar-powered speed cameras and video-monitored traffic crosswalks for safety. I think that's,
It's always
Yeah.
one of the best parts is to get through all the vendors and get to know them, see what new tech is
Yeah.
out there.
yeah, see some new
And
tech
learn.
that's out there. And also like grant opportunities that we're not aware of, or at least updated contacts on like who to talk to.
And NLC gave me their access to their grant finder tool.
Fantastic,
More stuff to-
yes,
to Look at with that too.
yeah.
Now, we did walk away with a goal for next year.
What's that? Get one of the,
That we'll get
Another banner?
Banner City. You
what's
see-
that? Oh,
yeah.
Banner City?
Yeah, just looking at the folks, we're like, okay, we look at the list, we're like, where's Poolesville? We do, I think we've done the majority of the things you gotta do.
Yeah.
So we just have to keep it on
Yeah.
our radar. There's a few
there's
more
couple
things to
of
do,
things
and
need
we
to
got
do,
it.
Like do a proclamation in November for Government Works Month and stuff like that.
And speak at school.
At
Yeah,
school,
and and go. But you went and presented about the town to like the elementary school last year. Or? Yeah.
Yeah.
You arranged something like that
Is that a
again.
regular thing that they do? I always wondered, like, what is our
There's
sort of
several
routine
opportunities.
interactions with the schools?
Yeah, so there's several, one is career, everybody has
Yeah,
career days.
career
so you guys
day
can do
and the
that.
readers.
Yeah, the
club.
reader
Those are
day
the two
too.
that I've known about.
Yeah, and those are I don't do the one at night anymore. They have one that's like they set up a nighttime read thing. That was absolute mayhem. I can't do that.
I've done the morning reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
A little
the-
more structured.
Oh, I do the reading in the
Yeah.
classrooms.
Yeah, in the classroom.
Yeah, and that's good. And then,
that's
and then
good
the career
times.
day, but also, if I were a mayor, they have that
Yeah.
one, which is always a good one, and I've done that a bunch of different years, different times, so it's fun, and most of the time it just devolves into asking questions about, what you can flush down a toilet and what you can't, and then things like that. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, you guys, whoever ends up doing that, you guys will have a good time with that. It's fun.
Yeah, so I think we'll just now.
Sounds like it, Jim.
And we just make sure
Yeah,
stuff we're already.
yeah, it all goes through town hall. So
Yeah.
you guys will see all that.
We'll get it all squared away.
One thing I did want to say too about MML was that first of all, I always spend a lot of time in the mobile unit, like with the RVs. Like, that should be a goal, is that we get one of those full-size RVs for the town. I don't know what we would use, but they had some really good equipment in there.
Roadshow.
Yeah, for the road show, whatever. But no, going back to it was that if you do Google Poolesville and Google YouTube Poolesville, you're not always going to get the best presentation of the town. So it's probably not a bad idea to work on some sort of thing some sort of PR that ends up being something that rises to the top. Because I just did it the other day, and some of it's a bit of a crapshoot. Some stupid damn realtor commenting on it, and it was like a mixed review. I was like, dude, what? You don't know anything about it. But he pays for positioning. He's got followers, and so that rose up to the top of something you would search. So anyway, not only was I jealous, but I thought that was a bad representation of us. And so we probably need to do something that's more structured and that is always at the top of people's search.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's a good point, and there's companies out there that can help us do it. I mean, Laura can probably help us do it at VAF, but we need to probably get around to doing something like that.
Yeah, we were very involved in the Visit Montgomery video too. We
Yeah.
spent a lot of time in that for
Yeah.
the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And like I said, it does talk about
It
Poolesville,
does, and it does. a
but
good
it would be
job.
nice to have something that really just features our town,
Yeah.
not the entire ag reserve.
Yeah, Link's got a good point. We actually had a fair amount of input
Yeah.
on the Visit Montgomery video, which wasn't the same input that might have been shared by other groups that also compete for attention in Poolesville. So, which was good. We were able to kind of mitigate that a little
And
bit.
the video's great. I'm not
Nope.
saying
Nope, I'm with you.
anything negative about the video. It's a great
Yep,
video.
I'm with you. All right, guys, anything else? That was good, free flow.
We agreed on the next meeting, what we're gonna do.
Well, yeah, I put out a memo. You guys probably
Yes.
saw, everybody's okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's okay with that?
I am.
Confirmed,
Yeah.
yes.
And then, again, I imagine everybody's going to get together at the farmers get together. And
26.
I'll be out of town.
I'm supposed to be too, but
I'll be there.
we'll see what happens. So
Talking about July 26th?
Do you have
Dedication.
a schedule yet at all, Link, for that?
let's go back to the flag.
We've got a runner show, I could send you.
Yeah, if you could
that.
send that around, that'd be helpful.
From 6 o'clock and then 7 o'clock, there's gonna be a reception in here.
Yep.
I still want to be here. My family's supposed to be on vacation, but I'll probably figure out something on that one. So who knows?
Not on a boat, so you can probably do it.
Again, it'll be like Tupac. It'll be a hologram of me talking, and then I'll get fuzzy, and then you can just
As long as it gets on YouTube.
Yeah.
I motion we adjourn the
yeah.
meeting.
As soon as I mention Tupac, there's no more meeting.
We're done.
Motion made by Sarah for adjournment,
We have
second by
we have
Ed.
devolved.
All in favor of it, please say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Yeah, you got him off the, off the.
That should be
Now, I want to see the image from the tennis courts.
It's hard to tell the image from the tennis courts. It really is.
So it
have
really
a
is
picture of
not
it.
Hang on a
that.
second.
And Link, before
Hang
you
on a
go,
second.
have a happy birthday cupcake. Take one with you. It was my birthday on Saturday.
Now we know. Are we still on?
I'm trying to get it.
Oh, we're still, hey guys, we're still alive.
Link to it.
All right. Hot mic.